Hi everybody, and welcome to today's video. I am going to be working on some cucumber relish, and also we are going to be canning the old-fashioned way. We are using the jars with the rubber gasket and the clasp. This was a tradition in other countries as we speak, and this was done many years ago. I have so many memories of my grandma and her cellar where she had all of her canned goods. Today we are making some cucumber relish, and also I'm making pizza sauce. I'm going to be using these jars for the relish. It's very simple. The relish I am using Mrs. Wage's pickle mix. Grandma would have never done that, of course. She would have had her pickle mix that was homemade, which I just did in a video, so you'll see that if you haven't seen it already. I will share the link right up here if I already put it public. So let's get started. My kitchen is all ready to go. As you can see, my kitchen is a very old-fashioned kitchen. There is nothing modern in this kitchen. Even the stove is very old, and it is a propane stove. Let's go ahead and let's get working on today's relish. The first thing we're going to do is wash our jars. We are going to take the rubber gasket off of them, and this we are going to heat with hot water, not boiling water. Alright, so here is our relish. I soaked the relish overnight with 1/4 cup of salt and drained it and rinsed it really well. Now we're going to use the mix because I really like using the mix. It is a lot easier to do than from doing it from scratch. But I already have videos of doing it from scratch, so we're going to do it this way today. It calls for 2 1/3 cups of vinegar. I just use Dollar General's vinegar. Make sure the vinegar says 5% and not 4%. I have not seen any vinegar that said 4%, but it is going around the internet that there is a lot of vinegar that is not 5%. So you want to make sure that your vinegar is the quality for canning and pickling. All right, we're going to put the vinegar in with the relish. And then it does call for sugar because this is a sweet relish. It has all the spices already with it. Now all we have to do is mix this all up and put it on the stove, bring it to a simmer for about 10 minutes. I want to show you one of my new favorite books, and this is a European type cookbook. And it teaches you all the different ways to can that is unusual for us here in the United States. Now, I want to tell you one thing. This method is not USDA regulated. It is actually what would be considered rebel canning today. Even though back in World War II, this was considered safe. So just wanted to give you that little disclaimer. They changed the rules a little bit, but it is high acid food, so I will do a lot of rebel canning if it's high acid foods. And if it's high acid foods, I do all kinds of different kinds of canning. If it's low acid foods, I will use a pressure canner for that. But I do like rebel canning, and I love this book. So it is called Preserving, and it is The Good Cook, and it is absolutely amazing. And it talks about the different ways of canning, and it teaches you how to can using this. So let's go ahead and let's work on my tomatoes. To make things a little easier for me, I have my tomato station set up over here. So I do have the food mill, which I did share with you in previous videos, that my grandma Grove would have had, and she used a mill just like that. And I absolutely love this one. This one is plastic, so it's very reasonable and frugal. She actually had the Victorio strainer. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to strain all of the tomatoes over here, and then we are going to make the pizza sauce. All right, let me go ahead and get everything assembled, and then I'll meet you right back here. All right, so I have all of the tomatoes already cooked. Now, I didn't add any water. I just cooked these on slow for about an hour and a half. And that is how we're going to strain our tomatoes. Now we're going to use a bowl to catch the seeds and all of the tomato pulp. And let's get started. Now this is going to take quite a little while to get this all done. All right, you get the idea. So we're gonna go ahead and finish straining all this, and I'll meet you back at the kitchen counter, and then we'll mix up our pasta sauce. Pizza sauce is on the stove. We're gonna work on that. And now the relish is finished. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in the jars and then get them in the canner. So let me show you how we do that. All right, just like that. We're gonna go ahead and fill up all these jars. All right, it's really important that we do wipe our rims. So this is the same no matter what canning jar you use. We want to wipe our rims. All right, so now we're going to take our rings and we're going to put them in the lid like this. So it lays flat against the glass, just like this. Then we're going to put it on and we're going to clasp it. Lock it into place. Now we're going to do that to all of the jars. All right, so now we're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to boil it for about 20 minutes. All right, so to make my pasta sauce, I add a little bit of sugar and I have onions. Now I'm going to add some of my homemade pizza mix, which I have videos on that. So I'm just going to add that, and then I have some more here. It's no set recipe, I just add, and then I give it a taste. Everyone, we are finished with the pizza sauce. Now I use pasta sauce, pizza sauce interchangeably because I have a water bath canner with this pizza sauce and I have citric acid. I am going to add a half a teaspoon to it. That's your preference. I like to be on the safe side. I'm just going to use a half a teaspoon of the citric acid, but in many videos I didn't use it. So I just happened to find it in my cupboard and I thought, well, I might as well use it. Let's go ahead and jar this up, and then we can call this day complete. So a couple of them, I'm actually going to have it thinner, and then half of this I'm going to let it cook down to it's thicker. All right, I put all the jars away and I forgot to videotape it. So I'm going to show you. To test to know if your jar is sealed, you're going to open the clasp and you're going to lift it up by the lid. So we're going to take our hands and lift it up by the lid, and it is sealed. And that means that it's sealed if the lid does not pop up. So I made a lot of these. I made over 30 of these relishes now. Absolutely love them, and I love these jars. I will be using these jars for tomato sauce and all kinds of things. I absolutely love them, and it's bringing back a little bit of the old world, where we're going to bring it back to life. And that is all about my channel, and I can't wait to share with you again tomorrow what we're working on. Bye, everybody.